Okay, so you are on the right track. We are I'm gonna plot these points. I think this is the one that you were working on. Yeah, okay. So -3, 3, so a bit better. So 1, 2, 3, right? And then up 3. So that's this point. So there should only be 2 points on there, and D is over 1 and then down 2, right? And that's D. So as you can see, the only difference is that you have 4 points, and you have the right points on there. You just have 2 extra points. You just need to take off the extra points. That's it. And then draw your graph. So that's that one. And then if I look at the other 2 that you sent me, which I think are the next 2, once again, so 2, 4, right? Over 2, and then up 4. So it's up there. So you have that on there. So excellent job. And then B is -2, -2. So it's over 2 and down 2, which you also have that on there. You just have an extra point. So I think what you're doing, you're on the right track. You just have one or 2 extra points on each graph. So just each of these equals 1 point, okay? So that one goes there and that one goes there. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 problems. The first problem I'm gonna do is this first one on the page 1, right? This is the first one on page 1. And I'm gonna plot C and D. So C is -3, 3. So we go across first, right? So, and then we go up and down. So the X value is at -3 and the Y is at 3. And so where do these 2 cross? Right there. So I'm gonna erase that. And then that's C. And then D is 1, -2. So I'm gonna go over 1 and then down 2. And there we go. I'm gonna erase my little line. All right, so now that I have my plots pointed, I'm gonna draw my graph. And now, make sure I have blue. I do have blue, all right. So now I'm gonna find the slope and the y-intercept. So the slope is the rise over the run. And let's talk about that first, okay? So I have my point here and I have my point here. So to find the rise over the run, I'm gonna make a triangle connecting those 2 points. So those 2 points are connected. And now I'm gonna count, right? So rise means up and down, right? And run means left and right. So we're gonna do the rise. We start at the left and we go, oh, okay, so I'm going down, right? So it's negative. I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because each line, each box is worth 1. And then I'm gonna go across 1, 2, 3, 4. And I went to the right, so I went positive 4 spaces. So the slope is -5 over 4. So now let's look at the y-intercept, okay? So B, otherwise known as the y-intercept, is just where this graph is gonna cross the y-axis, right? So this red line crosses the y-axis right here, which is at -1, so B is equal to -1. So that is how we do it. I'm gonna do one more real quick. And I'm gonna do one of these down here, okay? So this is the bottom one on page 1 in the middle. So the bottom row in the middle, and I don't know why it's not labeled, but it's not. First thing I'm gonna do is I don't know how much each line is worth, do I? All right, so if I counted by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, nope, it needs to be 20. So 5, 10, 15, 20, right? 5, 10, 15, 20. So they're all worth 5. So these these are going to be positive, and then these are going to be negative, right? Whoops, that should be a 10. That's -5, -10, -15. Should I have them labeled? You don't have to label them. I just did so that you could see what I was doing. And now I'm going to do x equals -5, -5, right? So point x is at -5, -5. So I'm going to go -5, right? Because one box is worth -5. And then I'm going down. And then y is 5, 5. So I'm legitimately going over 5, right? And up 5. It's a little confusing when I put the dashes in there, so I'm going to erase the dashes because those are all positive numbers. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my graph. I'm going to find my slope, which is the rise, up and down, over the run, left and right. So I'm going to make this little triangle here. There's my triangle. And now each box is worth what? 5, right? And I'm going to start here. I'm going to do the up and down first. So I've got 5, 10. So I went 10 up, right? And then I went 5, 10. And I went 10 across. So 10, 10 equals m, which also simplifies to 1. Both answers are correct though, okay? So I'll use, no, what color will I use? I don't like any of these colors. Okay, we'll use black. I need to find B or the y-intercept, so that's where my graph crosses the y-axis. So my graph crosses the y-axis right here, right? The y-axis and the red line, they intersect right here at 0. So B equals 0. Okay? So that's how we do it. To keep it short and sweet, I'm going to stop here, but that is how we do it.